Today, I want to talk about self trust. I've been uploading a lot of short videos about self trust lately, and it's not because I'm trying to just teach something. In the last few years, I struggled with it massively. I went from being someone that didn't have much self trust or even confidence to maybe somebody that had too much. Maybe there's not too much self trust, but I mean confidence in myself. Let me reframe that. I had a lot of confidence thinking that I could do whatever I put my mind to. And I still think I can. I just stopped trusting myself because I would make promises to myself thinking I needed to do things. I had lists that I never did. I told myself I'd wake up at certain times and work on things, and I never did. Like back in 2014, I started a travel blog, and I didn't know what it would take from the beginning, but I knew I could do it. The thing was, though, is that you can, and online you can fill your time up and your ideas up with a lot of things. Like you can you can find yourself being a social media influencer, or in my case I was a blogger that turned social media influencer, that did photography. I did too much all at once, and I lost a lot of self-trust in that time. Actually, I lost a marriage, a relationship, I lost money, but I wouldn't redo, like I wouldn't not do it again. I would do it again. I just wish I had more knowledge about how to do it. My point is that I think self-trust comes with knowledge. I did the travel blog thing for a few years, for almost 5 years on and off. And I did other things like selling on Amazon, and I found a million different things. And for some reason, I would start them, but they would taper off. Maybe it was just the type of things I was choosing to do. Maybe it was the mind frame that I was in those times. Maybe it was for the fast money. I don't know. I don't know exactly where or the moment that the trust in myself disappeared, but I know it disappeared. The moment I realized it disappeared was the moment that I started to get it back, which is kind of a fucked up situation, if you really ask me. But what I realized is that everything that I did, that I failed at, that I promised myself, that I thought I would do and never did, it kind of was like a strike to the idea of myself. It's kind of like a strike to the confidence in myself. It was definitely strikes to self trust in myself. And what I've realized is that I needed to do these things to understand that my self trust is built. And maybe I had too much confidence in myself, but I didn't have trust. I just trusted that maybe I didn't even trust that things would work out. I was about to say that I just trusted that things would just work out, and didn't. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I thought if I just did it, I don't know how I just did it. I just did it. I had this confidence and I just did things, and I just wanted to do things. It might have just been my ADD. The flashy things in front of me that look flashy and were new and exciting. I knew I would do things that were exciting. I knew shopping at discount stores to sell things on Amazon was exciting. Finding those deals to then make money on them, that was exciting. But the excitement kind of wore off after a while. And I ended up not trusting myself to get it done. There were other factors in play, but really the only person I can blame is myself. I started doing things like buying things at auctions and selling them online too. And that was great for a while, but that also started to wind down for some reason. And what I'm realizing is that it was because I didn't trust myself to keep going with it. When I was doing the travel blog thing, I was doing YouTube videos and I loved it. and I still love it. That's why I'm back. I'm back doing YouTube videos, and but the idea of what I need to do, how I'm going to do it, and who I am is different. Because in the last 2 years, I've really worked on myself, maybe even the last year, I've really worked on myself to understand who I am and why I do things, which has helped me with self trust. I've learned that I shouldn't shit on myself if I'm not getting something done. But at the same time, if I'm going to promise myself to get something done, I need to get it done. And what I did really was kind of promise when I started trusting myself again, I started promising myself little things. I think it's the little things that matter. It's the little tiny promises you make to yourself and break to yourself that you lose self trust in. And if I go back over time and write a list of how many times I failed myself, I promised myself something and failed, the list would be long, very long. It's because I wanted to get somewhere that I didn't quite know where. I didn't quite know where I wanted to be. And that's okay. I don't think you need to know exactly where you need to be or where you have to be. But I think steps to improve your life need to be little tiny steps to start with, just so you can trust yourself enough to get it done. Now, you also lose self trust by talking to yourself in certain ways, like I said, telling yourself things that you never do or you end up not doing. Think of it this way. If someone's always going to put you down, like for most people out there, if someone's going to always put you down and tell you that you're doing things wrong and shitting on you, are you going to want to listen to them? Most likely, no. I mean, I know there's a few of you out there that listen to people that tell you things that aren't true or put you down for no reason. They're only putting you down because they feel that way about themselves. They're frustrated with themselves or how they feel. And that's no excuse to treat you that way. But how I think of it is for me, I'm not going to let anyone put me down. I'm not going to let someone else tell me I can't do something. Usually when someone tells me I can't do something, it makes me want to do it more. But when my mind tells me I can't do something, I really start to believe that I can't. And I think if you're going to start trusting yourself, just like you don't listen to that person telling you you can't do something or that you're nothing, that person that you really don't want to be around because they're always negative, always holding you back. Listening to yourself is the same thing. Listening to yourself, tell yourself that you're not good enough. Like that's a fucked up idea. That shouldn't happen. You know, we're going to get ideas from other people, from our parents, from our teachers, from our friends. Ideas on how we should live, how we should think, how we should do things. And a lot of times those ideas hold us back. There's this there's this saying that I like to use, like crabs in the bucket. If you put crabs into a bucket and one tries to escape, the other crabs apparently will pull it back into the bucket. And it's the same thing in society. People will hold you back because either they're scared, they secretly don't want you to do it because something they wanted to do, but they're too afraid to do it. Or it's an idea in their subconscious that they don't want you to be more successful than them. It sounds crazy, but this crab in the bucket theory is real. So these ideas we have about ourselves are contradicted by things like social media telling us that we should have things by now. We should have a wife by 30 or a husband. We should have kids. We should have 100,000 followers in a month. We should have $3 to $5 million for retirement. We should work 30 years to 40 years. We should hustle hard, put our heads down, and never feel our feelings. Or on the other hand, only feel your feelings. There's so much information out there that I don't know about you, but my head starts spinning sometimes. And what happens is I get stuck, and I still get stuck sometimes. I still have bad days. And in those bad days, I end up scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And In my feed, I can see a million different things. Plus, you know, the world's on the verge of war, or, a lot of negative stuff. Where I'm seeing a lot lately, like, you're not doing your videos right. The algorithm doesn't like you. It's fine if the algorithm doesn't like you. It's fine if other people don't like you. But you need to like you. And you need to know it's okay to be you. And it's okay that some days you're not for it. You want to just chill, watch Netflix, and hang out. And those days are needed. You can't just be a robot, get things done, and always follow that list and be perfect at it. And yes, you're going to make promises to yourself that you're going to break. But what you need to do is when you break them, you need to know and trust yourself that you'll fix it, or you'll come back. You can't let those little promises broken to yourself, because they will happen. You can't be perfect. You can't let them get in your way of making more in the future, or trusting yourself more in the future. You need to trust yourself that you'll come back. Don't think you're some sort of superhuman. Once you start thinking that you're some sort of superhuman that doesn't make mistakes, that doesn't fuck up sometimes, is when you stop trusting yourself. What you really need to do, I think, what I'm really good at, I think, again, and this is where I kind of lost trust in myself though, in the last few years, is trusting my gut. Trusting things, even if sometimes they don't make full sense. Trusting what you think you should do, not what your parents think you should do, not what your friends think you should do, not what social media thinks you should do, but you. Trusting your intuition and gut is huge. If you feel like you want to watch Netflix all day for 1 day or 2 days, you feel like that's the right thing to do it. Don't shit on yourself for it. If you feel like you want to go and scribble with crayons, paint, run in the rain and dance in the rain, go do it. There's more to life than just working and trying to hustle hard and trying to make it. And sometimes your brain forgets that. You forget that. I forget that. I mean, my kid, my son has reminded me to have fun a little bit more once in a while. He's still really young, and I do. I do that. I have fun with even my wife. She reminds me to have fun, and I have fun with her. And there's nothing like that. There's nothing like exploring new places, going to have fun, and not just thinking you need to get something done. Even though sometimes I forget that. I always, I'm not always thinking it, but sometimes I'm always thinking that I need to get something done. And when I'm telling myself I need to get something done, even though I'm having fun with my son or enjoying dinner with my family or whatever it may be, if that's sitting in the back of your head, you don't feel good enough. You don't feel like you're worthy of doing these things, having fun, enjoying life. Life should be fun. And if you want your life to be fun and you want to enjoy your life, you need to trust yourself. Trust yourself that sometimes you're going to fuck up. Trust yourself that you're going to make good decisions sometimes. And trust yourself that no matter what, as long as you're a good person and you believe that you're taking little steps into a better future, you will succeed. Once you trust yourself enough, knowing that you'll succeed, that you're going to succeed, you're already in that better future. You're already in that better place. You've already changed the course of your life. And once I met my wife, I think that's where the course changed. But it's because I changed it up here. Now I'm living in Mexico City with a beautiful family. And it's not because I randomly got lucky. It was because I was open minded to that idea. And in that moment I met her, the idea of how I thought about myself started to change again. It's crazy. I'm just kind of really, this is coming off the top of my head. It's kind of really just coming to me now, like these thoughts. But what I realized is that I just followed my gut. I'm in a place that I love. I love Mexico City. I love my family here. Don't get me wrong. I do love home. I love Toronto. I'm from Toronto and I love Toronto, and I love my family there. I don't love winter. It's one thing I don't miss. Kind of getting off topic here, but I'm living a life now that I really enjoy, which is why it brought me back to making videos, to putting videos on YouTube. It was something I loved that I started to hate because I forced myself into it. And now I do it because I'm enjoying it. I'm actually enjoying helping people. And I think that's why I've changed topics. And this is why I'm into kind of a self help idea where right now I'm talking about trusting yourself. And I just trusted myself to get to a place. And this is the place right now. I think the place is right for me. And who knows, that can change. It's okay. It probably will change. I don't know how much, but I know I'm sticking to it longer than I've stick to something. Like I've stick to a lot of things. I've simplified it. I trusted it. And I'm going to continue with it. So I think if you need a reminder to trust yourself, and you've got this far in this video, this is your reminder. Just start slow, be kind to yourself. And remember that if you trust that the future will be better, you already have that trust in yourself now. Like your future is already better. Don't forget that. I just want you to know you've got this. Maybe this is a reminder to myself in the future too. But you've got this. Things aren't as serious as they seem. And if you think they'll work out, they will.